so pay attention. You could possibly win. Welcome. Free Coaching Friday. Here we go. Pat Dearborn in the house. The Silver Fox. Representing Freedom Town, USA. What's up? Ruth, how are you? Nice. All right, so let's give away some stuff. What should we do first? What should we give away? I'm wondering. You know what? I'll give away some of our. I don't see what I'm actually wanting to give away. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. I know. Bear with me here. What's up? Drop me a comment. Let me know you're on. Where the heck is that thing? Who knows? All right. I guess I'll just give away our social media book. So I'm going to give away some copies of our social media book. Just flip the screen here. Pow. There we go. Our social media book. Give away some copies of our social media book. So click the share button, then drop me a comment that you shared, and I'll pick a few people to win these. Yay. Of which we'll get your address. We'll ship it out to you and make it happen. Kathy, you're in your dentist chair. Well, good luck. You know what? Now that Jess and I have separate offices, she never cleans my office anymore, so I can only blame myself. Sad face. I really don't know where that thing is. Dang it. All right, so let me pick some peeps. What's up? All right, Purple Shoe Woman. You're getting a social media book. Oh my God, this pen is terrible. What is with my pens? These pens are weak. All right. Purple Shoe Woman on TikTok. I think they can read that. TikTok. All right. You get a social media book. So Purple Shoe Woman, shoot an email to support@higdengroup.com. Let's do Sherry Barkus. Gets a social media book. Okay. What else we got on here? Okay. Motivated Mood 72. Motivated Mood 72 from the Insta. You get a social media book. All right, let me pick one more and then we'll move on. Start taking some questions. Get this show on the road. All right. Sonia Steele Sides. It's a powerhouse name right there. Sonia Steele Sides gets a social media book. I got both of my phones are in use, so I usually I would be recording an audio to record who wins, but I can't today. So, all right. So let's rock and roll. How can I help you? So this is Free Coaching Friday. Hit me with whatever questions that you may have. While you're queuing that up, while you're typing in your questions, I'll tell you, I'm very, very excited. We fly out, my wife and I, we fly out today. We are going to hang with Dr. Joe Dispenza. And it's going to be us and I think like 8 other people spending the entire day with him on Saturday, touring his research facility out in San Diego, looking at where he meeting the different scientists. Like we're super, super excited. It's going to be amazing. And so really, really excited. All right. Okay. All right. So we'll pick Christy first. Christy asks, best way to keep your downline motivated. Okay. Best way to keep your downline motivated. So for help with that, you may want to check out our leadership book. Leadership book dives very, very deeply into that. But let me give you some suggestions. Number 1, make sure they don't feel like a disappointment. Make sure they don't feel like a disappointment. And the way that you prevent people in your team from feeling like disappointments is them feeling okay if they don't have your level of desire or your level of result. And so often the hard charging leader thinks it's their job to, get those darn suckers motivated and get them fired up and get them doing something because they're not doing anything. And, that's like the parent who has the child that doesn't want to go to medical school, and every day they bring them brochures, and every day they ask them, did you apply for med school yet? No. Okay, sweetie. Right. All right, that's fine. Oh, no problem. Hey, the other day I swung by this medical college. I don't know if you know about it. It's Hopkins something. All right. Okay, no problem. Okay. And so when the leader takes it upon themselves and gets in their mindset that their job is to make hard charging alpha dogs out of their teammates, out of people that isn't their goal, that isn't their level of desire, the result is they feel like disappointments. And so the best analogy that I use all the time is the gym owner. The gym owner gets it. The gym owner would be a great network marketing leader. And I'm highly suggesting you go out there and recruit you some gym owners. Why? Because if I go into the gym and I go on the treadmill for 4 minutes, don't even sweat, take a selfie by the dumbbells that I didn't even lift, and then I go to leave right after getting my 2,200 calorie peanut butter banana chocolate shake, I've literally gained 4 pounds going to the gym. What does the gym owner say to me? Does the gym owner say, hey, I didn't see you doing any deadlifts, boy. Get over there. Lift your shirt, boy. Doesn't seem like you're very motivated. No, gym owner says, hey, way to kill it, bud. You got this. Hey, see you tomorrow if you want. Huh. Why? Because they like me being on auto ship. I mean, paying my membership. I get those confused sometimes. So the gym owner gets it. Now, if I walk up to a gym owner and say, he or she, whatever, right? And say, hey, I want to get diesel. I want to get ripped. I want to get shredded. I want to get jacked. I want to be blown up. I want to be popping my pecs out of all my t-shirts. What will gym owner do? Gym owner will say, all right, sweet, brother. Well, we got a personal trainer. We got a CrossFit. You gotta get some more tattoos if you do that, though. Just want to let you know. You got racquetball. You got, right? They're gonna point, guide, and direct me to help come into alignment with what my level of desire, my renewed level of desire. So there are more people in your team that just want to belong. They just want to be part of the organization, and they pay you a desk fee. Realtors know that term. Salon people, hairstylists know that term. You pay a desk fee. There are people in your organization that do not want to, their goal is not to make money. It's just not. They like belonging. They like the products. They like the camaraderie. They like meeting friends, right? It's just like, last night we had, like a dance thing, and Jess was a featured performer. And, there's some people in there that, they just enjoy the community. They like going there and just dancing. Jess and I, we started that way, and now we compete. So it's a little bit different. Now it's like, looking at people's, how do I learn that step? What's that right there, right? It's a little bit more serious level. We have a higher level of desire. And so the mistake that most leaders make is they try to cram their level of desire down the throats of everyone in their team, not recognizing that most of them just don't have that level of desire. And so just like you wouldn't cram down your level of desire to all of your kids if you had 10 kids, you'd see, what are they? Oh, you want to be a journalist. Oh, awesome. The world needs some of those. You want to be a veterinarian. Awesome. You wouldn't say, well, I want you to be an entrepreneur. Read this book, sucker. No, you're gonna be like, oh, cool. All right, you want to do this. You want to travel first, okay? Right? I don't know your flexibility, but you're not going to try to cram your level of desire down their throats. So step number 1 is understand culture. Culture is the making of people to feel good regardless of their level of desire or level of result. And so when I learned this, I stopped trying to cram my level of desire, which is psychotic. I want to impact tens of millions of people while there's blood pumping through these veins. And I'm going to do everything in my power, whether it's painful or not, to accomplish that, because I'm a, what's the word? Lunatic, right? My purpose is very serious. My purpose and the vision of who I want to become is a ruthless dictator. Doesn't care how I feel. Doesn't care if it's raining outside. Doesn't care if there's a stumbling block. Doesn't care doesn't care. While there's blood pumping through my veins, I'm going to be impacting millions and millions and millions of people. And I'm going to be constantly learning how to better help them. That's why I had to figure out my stuff, because I can't figure out your stuff if I can't figure out my stuff to the degree that's needed. And so, but I don't take my level of desire and cram it into everyone, get in there, right? I don't do that. So step number one, don't make them feel like disappointment by trying to cram a level of desire that they just don't have. Number two, stop sabotaging them. Here's how you sabotage them. You sabotage them by being nice. Nice stands for nothing inside me cares enough. I'm going hard this morning, aren't I? It kind of escalated, didn't it? I just had a great meditation. I should be totally zen and chill and just like, oh, baby, it's just like smell flowers and stuff, bro. Right? I should be totally chill, but I'm coming at you like a hurricane. So stop being nice, which means nothing inside me cares enough. Here's what that looks like in network marketing, because it's the opposite of what you think. So you think that caring means that you will spend forever with them on the phone, right? They have a question. Oh, just call me, girl. Oh, 45 minutes later. I hope that helps. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Mama Bear. There's a Mama Bear on here right now. Mama Bear has apes. Am I saying that right? And so the problem is whatever you do for your team, they think they have to do. So you're actually sabotaging them because they don't want to have 45-minute conversations with people. They don't want to spend 2 hours with each personal rep that they ever bring in. They just don't have that time. They don't have the time. They're doing this part-time. They got 15 kids. They got 3 jobs. They got to do this in the smallest slice of time possible. But if you, in your effort to be nice and effort to mama bear them, and maybe it's a guilt thing of if I'm earning money off somebody, I better give them the kitchen sink. I'll come over and wash your car if you're busy, right? And so that's sabotage. That's not loving them. Loving them is let me show you the most duplicatable way, and let me show you in a manner that you can also do. And so if someone calls you and says, hey, I got a question, say, okay, what's the question? Okay, great. You know what? We got a video on that. And here's what's cool. If you ever have a rep that has that same question, you point them to the same video. Let me send you that link for that video. And maybe, just maybe, you haven't been doing this, so you're out of practice. Maybe you're out of practice or you've never done this, right? So if they ask you a question and there is no video, right? Stop yourself from thinking that you're being nice by giving them the full answer, which they can't rewind, they can't replay, they can't listen to in the cloud, they can't point a new rep to it. They're not going to remember it. They're not going to execute off it. Ask me how I know. I've only made this mistake thousands of times. And say, you know what? That's a great question. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a video for you, and I'm going to answer it. And the reason I'm going to do that is not only will it help you with your question, but then anytime you have someone ask you that question, you can point them to this video. How's that? Great. Awesome. See, that's caring. Let me do it in a manner where I'm not relying on their memory and I'm not giving them the impression that that's what they have to do. Okay. So number one, don't make them feel like a disappointment. Number two, stop sabotaging them. So what do you do when someone says, hey man, I want to get diesel, I want to get ripped in the network marketing version, I want to become a top earner? You say, great, go do this, report back in. Now that could be go watch the fast start, report back in. That could be go prospect 5 people, report back in. Let me know how it goes. That could be, go do your first video, report back in. See, they can do that. They can go do this, report back in. And by the way, a lot of this comes from, many years of learning. One of the gentlemen that I learned a lot from around this topic is Larry Thompson. Larry Thompson been a trainer in network marketing for over 50 years. He is he has maintained the fire and the life of culture inside of network marketing when so many influencers, trainers, gurus no longer teach it. They just don't. They think that your job is to get people fired up all the time. And as you increase your intensity, you reduce your retention. So if you want to recruit more, retain more, earn more, then you got to learn this. You got to learn. How do you have people come in and say, oh, that's all they do as a leader? I think I can do that. You have to have people come in and say, oh, it's okay that I'm not super fired up. You're going to let me hang around? Oh, cool. You're not going to make me wrong? Nice. And so the longer you keep them around the campfire, the more likely they'll catch a spark. And that's a couple suggestions for you. If you want more around that, if that was helpful, get the leadership book. If you hated that, don't bother, because it's a lot more of that. I hope that helps, Christy. Still with me? You with me, Christy? All right. Okay, so I saw a question over here that I have to take because it's kind of my specialty. So broskizo. Am I saying that right? Broskizo. You ever see that? Video? Broski. Oh my God, it's so funny. It does bash a network marketing company, but it's still a funny video. So broskizo, how to stay consistent. How to stay consistent. Boy, isn't that the question of the century? So here we go. There's two categories of people when it comes to consistency. There are people that refuse to do the hard work of figuring out their programs, and their coping mechanism is work. I'm going to say that again. That might be a little hard to chew on. Okay, let me say it again. There's two categories of humans when it comes to consistency. Okay, category one, which is very few people, 5% maybe. And category one is people that refuse to do the hard inner work to address their patterns and programs. So their coping mechanism is work. So they're a workaholic. So they have no problem with consistency. They have a problem with joy and fulfillment. They have a problem with presence. They have a problem with trusting others. They have a problem with spending time around their kids. That was me. That was me most of my life. So my coping mechanism with my self-worth issues was I was a working machine. Do work. And I thought that the rewards, the trophies, the money, the recognition, I thought that would fill my self-worth hole. Never does. Never does. That's like, I really want to plant some trees outside. Well, I better stock up on banjos. Incongruent. Doesn't matter how many banjos you got. Doesn't help you with the trees. Doesn't matter how many millions you make. Doesn't help you with the self-worth. That's an internal thing. That's an internal. You got to go internal. So for my 5% of you on here that you just work, right? And my story, 2013, my first $1 million year, 2014, my first $1 million month, 2015, my first $1 million weekend. None of it mattered for joy or fulfillment or self-worth. None of it did a lick of difference. I still wasn't comfortable being around people. I still had social anxiety. I still didn't believe in myself. I know that sounds weird, and that will specifically sound weird to the 95%. My 5%ers, when they hear this, they're like, oh shit. Because my 5%ers, they recognize this as truth. And by the way, I'm saying 5% of the population. I'm not saying like in culture where we talk about 80, 15, and 5. I'm not talking about that. But The people that fall in this category, they recognize themselves because this is them. Okay. There's hope. There's hope. Right. So those people don't struggle with consistency. They just go, 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 go. And the rest of humanity looks at them and be like, oh my God, they're so successful. Man, I wish they were like them. But they don't understand that they can't feel joy. They can't feel fulfillment. They're not present with anybody. They're not present with themselves. They don't understand themselves. They don't know why they have these programs and patterns. And so it literally, this is why you'll see, very, very wealthy individuals, Robin Williams, great example, right? Killed himself. Made everyone around him happy. And this is common too of these super producers. They inspire everyone out there, but they don't love themselves. Okay. So that's 5% of you. Usually I would need to coach you personally to help you if you're in that category. But you specifically asked how to, Broskizo, I think is your name. You specifically asked how to stay more consistent. So I'm going to address it from the 95%. Okay. 95% of the people on here, and I can't say this of the population. I can't say this. If someone's sitting on their couch all day, every day, watching Scooby-Doo, eating Scooby snacks, in their slippers, they're probably lazy, right? And I can't dissect them like I can you on here. If you're on here, it means you have some kind of desire in you. You want to improve your life in some way, or else you'd be watching, Breaking Bad or something. You'd be doing something else. You wouldn't be on here. Why would you be on here? Makes no sense. And so if you're on here, then 95% of you, you've drawn the wrong conclusion to success. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you don't have what it takes. Okay. It's that you've drawn the wrong conclusion to success. And so if you're on here and you struggle with consistency, you are not lazy. It's not that you don't have what it takes. It's not that you're not skilled enough. It's not that you don't know what to do. You know what to do. You know what to do. It's that you've drawn the wrong conclusion to success. So when we've drawn the wrong conclusion to success, I should probably get a whiteboard. I wish I had a whiteboard back here. That'd be better. But when you draw the wrong conclusion to success, it takes great awareness to realize that. And here's exactly how it's disguised. Procrastination. Another word for procrastination, perfectionism. Okay. Procrastination, another word for procrastination, perfectionism, just sounds fancier, right? So perfectionism is procrastination with a nice hat, right? Got a nice little pin in it. Okay. Overwhelm, overthinking, let's see, not knowingness. I don't know what to do. You do know what to do. Okay. So you have all these disguises, all this camouflage. Why? Because the program that was created that had you draw the wrong conclusion to success was created when you were a child based on an observation. You observed something, you drew a conclusion, it got planted in the back of your head, and you're now being ran by that program. That program is controlling you. You are the passenger in the car. You're careening off the cliff. You're turning around sides. You're breaking relationships. You're getting into the wrong relationships. You're quitting companies. You're careening, right? So you're being ran by this program. It's like a little joystick. And you're just like, ooh, wonder what's happening. I don't know why I'm making these decisions, right? Because you're on autopilot. Now, the subconscious doesn't want you. Your mind doesn't want you to figure out that program. Why? Because it was created for your safety. That program was created for your safety. And so that program to keep you safe, this is like someone saying, you know what? I don't trust them to make the right decision, so I'm going to make the right decision for them. That's your mind. Your mind is doing that. I don't trust them. They got hurt before. Let's prevent them from getting hurt. I can make better decisions than they can. Let's set this program. So you got this program, and to prevent you from figuring out that it is a program, it'll camouflage itself. Overthinking, perfectionism, procrastination, overwhelm. You'll find something wrong, right? Like I was coaching a guy on I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and his company just had a change, right? So his company, I don't really want to go into what the change was, but his company had a change that he really wasn't happy with. And so he said, I'm like, so, where you at? How can I help? And he said, well, they made this change, which is different from how I thought and this and that. But I think I still want to build. And so I'm like, okay, have you been in other companies? He's like, oh yeah, been in a bunch of companies. I'm like, were you fired up about them? He's like, oh yeah, okay. Did you not do the work over there either? No. But he had a reason. He would tell me, oh, because of this change. So a camouflage is you locating things that are wrong, and this is the reason I can't do it. I can't do it because I got kids. I can't do it because I work late at night. I can't do it because fill in the blank. And all of that's nonsense, because you'll meet someone that has 2 times the kids you have, 2 times the jobs you have, and they're making it happen anyway. Now, it's very possible that that's their coping mechanism, right? So they may not have joy or fulfillment, but they'll make it happen anyway, right? And so there's the first 2 steps in you becoming consistent. Number 1, awareness. Becoming aware of what are these emotions that are being fired without your assistance. What are these things that are rubbing you the wrong way and getting you upset and angry and pissed off that are just being fired without your consent? Awareness. Let me become aware of, why do I make decisions? I'll tell you, before I understood this, right? And once you gain awareness of this, you'll trace back all your steps and you'll laugh at yourself. I'll give you a funny one. This is really funny. It took up 7 years of my life. So when I was 19 years old, I was working at a telemarketing company, making 450 calls a day, right? No network marketer does that. You don't, right? I would love to see the stats of someone who did. Just lunatic. Now, part of it is I was being fed leads, right? But I feel like even if most network marketers were fed leads, they wouldn't make that many calls. But anyway, so I'm working at this telemarketing company. My friend is like the computer guy at that place. And I figured, I'm like, I'm 19 years old. I don't know how to use a computer. I should have him make me, build me a computer, because he did computer stuff. And so I remember he built me this computer, and I'm still connected to him on Facebook. He may be on. What's up, Martin? And so he builds me this computer, and I'm like, okay. He's like, all right, right click. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know what he means, right? I'm like, what? He's like, oh man, you could never do computers. Within 2 months, I left that job. I went and I started working in computers. At the same time, I took a class on getting my Microsoft Systems Engineer certification. I then worked my way up in the IT industry. And I end up being $80,000 a year database administrator for an insurance company. I go to Redmond, Washington. I visit the Microsoft campus, and I almost go to work there. That was 7 years. And one day I'm kind of like, why am I doing this? I don't even like computers. I was doing it because he challenged me. And one of my programs, one of my more cosmetic programs, easier to figure out programs, was I'll show you. Now, I'll show you is interesting. I can recognize it very easily in people. So I'll show you is all I need is doubt. You give me doubt, oh man, I'm just, it's ecstasy. Doubt is ecstasy to me. But the problem is that if that's your program, you require doubt. So my careers were like this. I would go, I'd do really, really well, then I'd fall down. I'd go do something else. I'd go do really, really well, go to something else. Go really, really well. Oh my God, you're the best employee we've ever had. I'm out of here. Go do something else. Because I require doubt to operate. So if I got good, no one doubting me, I'd lose interest. What's the point? Because I was on autopilot. I'm just the passenger. Right? So with awareness, the program will still fire from time to time. Someone will doubt me and I'll be like, and I get, I have to wipe like Pavlov's dog, right? I kind of salivate. Sorry. Right? So I still enjoy doubt. I just don't need it. I just don't require it. So that's allowed me to go in, stay in a career. Imagine that for a long time. And keep challenging myself. Keep growing from there. And so first step, awareness. Why, becoming more aware of why you make decisions. And help with that is looking at your patterns. Why have you made all your decisions? Pretty much. It centers around one reason. Now, there are deeper things I won't get into on this. But number one, awareness. Number two, defiance. Defiance. If you want to transform your life, you're going to have to become defiant. I gave a couple examples in Rank Makers. Who was on the Rank Makers video this morning? I gave a couple examples. So drop me a comment. Let me ask the question, you answer it, and then I'll know if I want to reshare it or not. So were you on the Rank Makers video this morning? Okay, Judy was. Because if enough people were, then I won't reshare the same thing. I'll come up with something else or whatever. Okay. So what do I mean by defiance? I don't mean defiance of the government, although that may be a good idea. I mean defiance of yourself, defiance of your programs, of your patterns. So I'm seeing a lot of no. I'm seeing maybe 50-50 no's and yeses, and someone that said yes and says share again. Okay, Julie. So let me give you two examples. Since there were people not on there, what's wrong with you? Get in there. Rankmakers.com. If you like this kind of stuff, you'll love Rank Makers. If you don't like this, don't bother. So two areas where I created defiance. One, I wanted to gain control of my programs. I wanted to gain control of me because I became aware that I wasn't in control. That I would be on a diet and someone would bring me Reese cups and I'd be like, right? That I would get to specifically 203 pounds and I would want to get lower. I'd always go back up. It's like I'm out of control. I was not in control of my life. And so one of the first things was, I'd always heard that cold showers were good for you, but I hate cold showers. They suck. And so one day I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a cold shower. And trust me, it sucked. It was terrible. That was 10 months ago, I think, or 11 maybe. And I've taken one warm shower since. Now, I assure you, I do take showers. So this isn't a trick where I only have showered one time since. And the one time, I was at a hotel. I could not figure out how to make it cold, so I had a warm one. It was really nice, man. Y'all with your warm showers, spoiled. And so, but every day I dread it. I don't want to do it. I do it to show I'm in control. Now, there's health benefits, right? It improves a brown fatty cell metabolism. It improves your circulation. It improves, improves a lot of stuff. I don't think that's the life-changing part. The life-changing part is being defiant. Is you start to say, hey, I'm going to break this pattern. So the second part was meditation. So when I first started meditating, I'm listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I'm excited to see tomorrow. And, I'm listening to it, and he's like, sit up straight, eyes closed. And I'm just like, my body's like freaking out. I got a backache. And my neck hurts and scratch here. So this is me meditating, stretching, right? It's real, fixing the neck, right? And the wrist needs popped, right? That's me meditating, real calming, real powerful, right? And then so I decide after about a week of that, sucked. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to lay down. Now he says sit up. I'm just going to lay down. And so I lay down. It was awesome. It was amazing. I lay down for the meditation. I wake up. Oh man, how refreshing. I'm not meditating. I'm napping. Now the chemical reason for that, why my body was fighting me, is two reasons. Number one, yes, Lysandra, I started doing, and I'm not saying your defiance may not be about cold showers. It may be something totally different. It may be spending time with the kids. It may be sending more messages, right? It's you figuring out, what in my life can I challenge myself that would be good for me? For some of you ladies, it's go get a massage. Do something for yourself for a change. You do everything for everyone else. You breaking your pattern would be you go getting a massage. You go getting a facial or whatever floats your boat. Now, if your pattern is to always get massages, then you need to go the other way. Figure out what could I be doing that would be beneficial that's challenging to me. So anyway, so meditation. So I tell my friend who's like a yogi, and I say, yeah, man, I tried meditating and my back hurt, my shoulder hurt, my knee hurt, my foot hurt, my face itched. I just lay down. He's like, well, you're not getting the benefit. I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, your body's going to fight you. And I learned that when you're the only time for most people that they break out of beta mode and go into alpha mode or deeper, you're laying down, you're going to bed, you're sleeping. So your body is like, hey, knucklehead, we're supposed to be sleeping right now because you're changing my wave, man. If you're going to change my wave, you need to lay down. Let me try to get this knucklehead to lay down. Let me give him a backache, elbow pain, shoulder pain, scratch face, right? And so after I understood that, I would, do, and how long do I do cold showers? I take a full shower. So I turn it on the coldest it possibly can be, which in Florida, admittedly, is not as cold as other places because I have showered in Utah and Denver and other places that it's definitely colder. But I put it on cold, I shampoo, I soap, I do a standard shower. So back to meditation. So once I learned this, I'm like, okay, all right, game on. And so I would sit for meditation and backache, shoulder pain, ear itch, something in my eye, right? And I would thank my body and say, hey, thanks for that, but we're good to go. We're okay. It's fine. No worries. And eventually it stopped doing that. So now I've done 4-hour meditations. Every morning I do an hour 15 meditation. I don't move. I don't move at all. And one time when I was in Denver, shout out to Denver. When I was in Denver, I started an hour 15 meditation, and within 2 minutes, this fly comes on my forehead. crawled over me for the entire freaking hour. But I didn't move. I didn't swat it. I didn't do any of that because I'm in control. And the more that you get defiant and the more that you realize that you are way more powerful than you give yourself credit for, you will start to transform your life. I assure you. And so that defiance, okay? As you become defiant, different things are going to open up for you. You're going to have different realizations, okay? Now, for me, may not be true for you, but I can just speak for me. For me, I needed a coach. I needed someone to help me understand what was in my blind side of the mirror, or whatever you call that, right? There were things that I could not see no matter how hard I tried. I had to have someone external help me with that. And so by doing that, by getting, and it was actually several coaches that helped me with this. I've since, learned how they do that, so I can do that now. And I've taught our inner circle coaches. Believe me, if I'm in Minnesota, I'm going to take a cold shower, because wherever I go, I take cold showers. Utah's definitely given me some cold ones. I did not like those, but I do them because I'm defiant. And so, Christina, how do you find a coach? We have our inner circle coaching at rayhigdoncoaching.com. And yes, I pay a scary amount for coaches. I have one coach that is $250,000 a year. I paid, one that I think a lot of people know about, Grant. I gave Grant $100,000 for 6 hours. He doesn't do this kind of coaching. He didn't help me with my inner programs, but I needed his energy for something else, and he was very helpful. It's definitely worth it. Big shout out. But if you would like to learn more about our coaching, it's rayhigdoncoaching.com. I know some of you are in our inner circle, so it's awesome. And so awareness, why am I making these decisions? Where am I falling short? Where am I not doing what I should be doing? Awareness of that. Defiance. For example, I have a exercise that I do every night before bed. I don't care how cold I am, or cold. I was reading something else. I don't care how tired I am. I don't care how long the day's been. Doesn't matter. I do my exercise before bed because I am programming my supercomputer. I'm programming it and saying, this is what I want. Okay. And so where do you need to be defiant? Is it you need to be defiant to do more things for yourself and take care of yourself? Is it you need to be defiant and send more messages? You need to not get so easily dissuaded. But all of that does come back to that program that was created when you were a kid. If you had, if you had parents that were super successful and then lost it, you very well could have drawn the conclusion that, if I make a bunch of money, I'm just going to lose it, and that sucks. So why bother? So you'll get into a company, you'll feel excited, and then you'll just find yourself struggling to do the work. You're like, I don't know why I'm not doing the work, but I just don't want to do the work. Well, if you think that with success, it's just going to go away anyway, why would you do the work? Why would you? If you had parents that were successful, but they ignored you, well, when you have kids, you very well could say, and this is not a conscious thing, this is in the back of your head. In the back of your head, it may say, well, successful people, they ignore their kids. I don't want my kids to have that experience, so I just won't be successful. I just won't do that. Because if I don't do that, then I can have this. And you think that observation is a life sentence. It's not a life sentence. You can choose to have success and pay attention to your kids. That's a choice. And so figuring those things out, that's the biggest addition we've made to our company this last year, is teaching our inner circle coaches how to coach from that. How to coach from that. How to help someone get to the actual problem. Because if you're not consistent, You'll seek tactics. I wish I had a script. I wish I had a hashtag. I wish I had this, that, and that, right? But if you're not consistent, it doesn't matter. Because anything, for you to get good at anything, you got to be consistent. So if you're looking for tactics and you're looking for scripts and if you're looking for this and that, right? If you're not consistent, it really doesn't matter that much. It's figuring out that program. It's figuring out that emotional block. It's figuring out that issue, that program that was planted. And you can forgive your parents. That has nothing to do with the program. The program was created, it was set in place, and it's been running ever since. So even with forgiveness, that doesn't address the program, because the program is separate from the people, right? So there's the program, then there's your parents. You may forgive your parents. I suggest that. They did the best they could with what they knew. Based on their experiences, they did the very best they could. That's what they did. If they experienced abuse, if they experienced trauma, if they experienced, like most of us have, there's definitely more people that experience trauma than not. And, then they did the best they could with what they had based on their experiences. That's what they did. So I do agree with forgiving your parents. They did the best they could based on, sometimes warped assumptions, sometimes warped instructions, but they did the best they could. But that does nothing for the program. Program's still there because you don't know it's there. You're not aware that it's there. And so if you want help around that, check out our Inner Circle Coaching, rayhigdoncoaching.com. But I hope that was helpful. I know I answered like 2 questions, but I got to hop off here. I got to hop on a plane here shortly. I haven't packed yet, so I got to go. I appreciate you. If this was valuable to you, if you think this would help one of your teammates, feel free to share. Feel free to share it in your groups if you would like. Our book does talk about some of this stuff about unlearning your programs. I know it's called Time, Money, Freedom, but it's really how to radically reshape your life. And I share in chapter 2, I share how I uncovered and broke some of my patterns and some of my programs. And so you have that. If you want someone to help you with this, rayhigdoncoaching.com. I appreciate you so very much. And I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. I hope these insights bring you some, clarity or hope or inspiration or something. But I appreciate you. I'm going to do my best to, take notes during my Dispenza meeting tomorrow. And hopefully I can do a live with him. We'll see. I don't know. And I appreciate you. So talk to you soon. Bye for now.